Welcome everyone to the 10th round of the Batumi Olympiad 2018. We are moving towards the tournament hall and today is the all important penultimate game. A lot of things are at stake today and Indian players take on the Netherlands in the open section and Peru in the women's section. As we near the tournament hall, we decided to do something different today, that is wait outside and videograph players coming out from their bus. There you can see the Chinese team disembarking, and you have Bu Jiangji coming in. There is Li Chao, he's going to play on board 4 today. Yu Yangyi, board 2. In the distance, the two coaches are coming in for the men and women's team, but in the distance you can see Ding Liren sitting down over there. He's taking a break. That's the Indonesian team. And you have the Uzbek team, the talents, young talents, Abdu Satarov and his teammates. The Peruvian guys enter in good spirits, and here's the women's team. India today. She was surprised to learn that she's playing the Indians today. Of course, she remembered that she was playing the Indians, but just that I also am an Indian is what struck her at that moment. And that's the Peru team that our girls would be facing today. Ding Liren makes his way to the tournament hall, still not at all fit, unable to walk without the crutches. There are so many buses which keep coming every few minutes. After all, you have to transport nearly 2,000 players before the game. No easy task. This has been done excellently. That's the Brazilian team, Alexander Fier, showing thumbs up. And we have the team from Canada, Eric Hansen and Aman Hambleton, famous for chess bras. Here we have Mike Klein from chess.com and Macaulay Peterson, chessbase.com. Well, the Polish team make their way. We have Duda coming out, giving us a nice smile. Wojtacek, Kamil, Dragun, and coach of the team as well. The Polish team are the sole leaders and they'll be looking to beat China today. Marcus Rager enters from Austria. So people from so many different countries who are playing. It's kind of impossible to know all of them. And therein we have the British team entering. From England, David Howell, Luke McShane, Michael Adams comes from behind. Board number 1 of the English team. We have the Swedish team, board number 1, Nils Grandelius coming there, and John Nunn as well, the coach of the British team. Here we have Gawain Jones. The Iranian guys, Param Maksudlu, the world junior champion, entering the hall with some earphones. You have Sarah Khadem, board number 1 over there. Idani Poya, Alina Saab, Ali Reza. These all guys are going to be really strong in the years to come, so we have to watch out for them. You have Amin Tabatabai and Mitra Hijazipur coming in. The Greek team enters. And the American team, Samuel Shankland, Wesley So, with his foster mother West Lotus Key, and on the other side we have Fabiano Caruana, Ray Robson, John Donaldson. So the team also, they don't really enter together, just have their own way to do things. Each player is doing it his way. Well, Lotus has some really motivating words for Wesley. It's a key game for him. If we have a winner, yeah, I mean it's still open completely. Should be like that. Vasily Ivanchuk, the genius, enters the tournament hall. We have the commentator Ivan Sokolo coming in.
How was yesterday?
It was. As we enter the tournament hall, we are going behind Baadur Jobawa.
I'm in love with you. Your mission is to find her name.
That's Gulistan Nakbaeva.
If you want to match 67, it's really the handicap against Lebanon is really clear both one against Lebanon.
The Armenian team over there talking to each other. They lost their match yesterday, but they still have a chance of winning the medal if they win today. Now we have the players from Togo. Guys, this is Fabi with Maurice Ashley and Rustam Kazimchanov. Well, Wesley So gives his book to coach John Donaldson. The Americans are playing against the Armenians. On top board, we have the Chinese team playing against the Polish Ding Lorraine on board 1, Yu Yangyi, Bu Xiangji, and Li Chao. That's the thing about China. Even their board 4 is really strong. Coach Bartosz Sochko waves to the camera. The Polish team have been really a big revelation in this event. They have played amazingly well. Well, moving to the Indian team, it's really interesting to see what the scene would be because we are playing the Netherlands, and there we have, even though we are playing the Netherlands team, the Indo-Dutch Party still exists, and with it, Adiban, Anish, and Ramesh all talking to each other.
Some code for
What? Are you surprised that you have a different opponent today?
No.
You
I just
expected
said
it.
that, I missed playing Vichy because I'm out of the Grandchester, but it seems the feeling is not neutral. So.
Well, moving on, we go to Erwin Lamy for his daily dose of predictions. Erwin, you have to give a prediction like every day.
Of today's match, yeah? I'll tell you afterwards. Yeah, I'll tell you afterwards.
No. Not today for Erwin. The predictions will be after the game, as he said. The India versus Dutch team, Anand takes rest today, and it will be Hari Krishna taking on Anish Giri. With it is, of course, the young star from India, signs autographs. Maya Chibudanidze is in the playing hall. The legend, the women's world champion for nearly 15 years. Harry speaks with Marcus Rager before the game. He likes to keep it a little more serious than the youngsters, and the photographer wants a picture of the Indian team. So today we have the five youngsters. No Anand today. Well, there's David Navara, the great guy, whom everyone loves. Namaste. Emil Sutowski is extremely happy that Dvorkovich won the presidential elections yesterday. It's sort of a new era for chess world that the leadership of FIDE has changed. Of course, inside the tournament hall, nothing really changes. Nisipianu beat MVL yesterday, so he's in great form. And here we have Levon Aronian signing chessboards and David Lada clicking pictures of him. Vladimir Kramnik is here. He's going to play David Howell today. The English team take on Russia. That's a big match. Of course, the Russians are the favorite, but the English team is pumped up. And here we have Nigel Short. He is happy today. The elections went just as he had planned. He's done it, and his teammates greet him with smiles and happiness. And the joke around here is, whom will Nigel support, England or Russia? John Nunn shakes hands with Nigel. And here we have Michael Adams. Michael Adams signs it for the person who has collected so many signs, Wesley. So maybe I can see Aronian perhaps over there. If you come to an Olympiad, you too can get something like this with all the stars at one place. Moving on, we have France versus Croatia. That should be not such a difficult match for the French team. Aronian being surrounded by so many of the people. He's very calm and relaxed. Of course, he's a big star in Armenia and knows how to handle all of this. Today, Nakamura takes rest against the Armenian team, and so Ray Robson is back. That's where the Armenian team can strike. Wesley So reading a book. Well, he had given his book away back to John Donaldson, but maybe he took it back again. Duda versus Ding Liren. That's the big match. Wojtaszek is up against Yu Yang on board 2. Board 3 we have Bu Xiangzi and Byron Caxper. And here we see something unique. Nigel Short taking David Howell's chair to shake hands with Kramnik. He has become the FIDE vice president. Played some cards really well in the last few days and has been able to create something for himself. Moving to the women's section, we have China versus USA. Zaimo takes on Jennifer Yu on board 4. Jennifer has had a great tournament. Tatev Abraham against Li Tingji. And Irina Krush is playing against Huang Qian. And Zhu Wenjun against Anand Zitonsky. And Anna Muzichuk is playing against Kostyanyuk. It's the Ukraine versus Russia, the big match. Maria Muzichuk against Goryachkina, Ushenina, Gunina, and Zukova versus Olga, Giria Olga. That's the Russians versus Ukrainians. Going to be an exciting match to follow. There you have it. The games have begun. Anish moves his pawn to d4, and Hari Krishna with the black pieces decides to go knight to f6. It's very unusual the way Hari Krishna moves his pieces. Somehow it seems as if, it's not a person who's used to moving chess pieces. He moves it in a different way. Maybe sometimes you have these people who are playing chess for the first time, they just move their pieces in a different way. Now, just have a look at how he will make his pawn move to d5 very, very differently. Like he usually you slide the pawn or slide the piece, but Hari likes to move it in the air and place it. It's surprising for me. We have the Ragozin opening. Also, looking at Hari making his moves uh, makes one understand that it's not how you make the moves what that's important, but the moves you make, the quality of the moves is what counts. Well, India without Anand is definitely weaker than usual, but of course, our other four players are extremely strong, so we should be the favorites against the Dutch team. After h6, Giri takes his time. Of course, he would like to take on f6 here. Vidit has played the Catalan, and Erwin has taken the pawn on c4. So it's an open Catalan. Vidit and Erwin both have worked for Anish in the past, so both must be pretty well versed with each other's openings. So that makes it a very interesting game to follow. Giri takes on f6 with the bishop, and Hari recaptures with the queen. Of course, you can't take with the pawn. It's a typical position. You have queen a4 check move here, forcing knight c6, but Anish is planning to be much more solid, I guess, and thinks for his move, and he pushes his pawn to e3. Anish has been one of the best players in this tournament. He has no losses until now. I think he's played all the games, which makes it, I guess he's 8 on 9, which is phenomenal. And here we have AD the Beast, Adiban playing against Luke Van Velde. And Luke is playing the Fianchetto system against the King's Indian. Adiban loves to play the King's Indian. He uses it as an attacking weapon in must-win situations. Today is no different. He wants to play for a win with the black pieces. And Fianchetto systems are, of course, very, very solid against the King's Indian. But you have these games played by Bronstein in the past, where you take on d4, then you put your rook on e8, you play pawn to c6, and then take your queen to b6, and then suddenly, your bishop is cutting down one diagonal, your queen is cutting down the other diagonal, and there can be a lot of tactical tricks in the air. Well, on board for Shashi Kiran has played the Rui Lopez, and Jordan Van Forest has played g6 bg7 variation, much like what Vishy Anand did against Eric Hansen. Jordan is young, calculates well. Shashi is experienced, so once again this will be a match to watch out for. Erwin has played this system with putting his knight on c6 and pawn to a6. Next up would be perhaps rook b8 and b5, the position. Hari Krishna has somehow managed to surprise Anish, I guess, in the opening is by playing in knight to c6. Here we have Poland versus China on board 1. Ding Liren has gone for an aggressive system against the Slav. I'm not sure about the name of the gambit, but when you play d into c4 as black, white usually goes a4. And here Ding Liren went e4. He didn't want the pawn back, and Duda is somehow very well prepared. I think he predicted that Ding Liren will go for this opening. On board 2 we have Yu Yang playing against Wojtaszek. Wojtaszek has opted for a solid line against the Slav. And Bu Jiangji, we have some kind of a Vienna over here. It's going to be another interesting game as Bu Jiangji takes on the 5-time problem-solving champion Pyrun Kaksper. And Kamil Dragon has a very simple strategy for this game. He's played cd5 against the Slav and he wants to keep it simple. Armenia versus USA. Fabi is taking on Levon Aronian, and Fabi has moved back to his reliable Petrov, no longer the Rui Lopez. And here Aronian is thinking. Of course, Fabi is tremendously prepared in the Petrov. He's kind of revived this opening and playing it with black ambitiously. On board 2 we have Wesley So, who's played the Scotch opening against Melkumian. It's going to be interesting. And we have against Sargsyan, and Melkumian has played a very, very interesting system against Shankland. You can look at the times and the sharpness of the positions. It looks like some kind of a Botvinnik, but Shankland is so well prepared. He's 138, I think, or 136. Wow. I am doubtful whether this game will move out of the opening stage, I mean the preparation of Shankland, or not. We have Ray Robson playing on the final board against Robert Hovhannisyan. And we have an interesting anti-Berlin system here.